With us right now, Patti Pokorchak. Patti, you're based in Toronto. You are the small biz sales coach. You're found on the web at smallbizsalescoach.ca. Patti, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Josh. I've been a huge fan of your podcast for ages. So,
thank you.
Well, cheers. I'm a software engineer. Yay. Yes, I know. I love podcasts. So.
Yes, excellent. So Patti, please give us an overview of exactly what you do, who you help, and how you help them.
Well, I'm living proof that you can take a shy, introverted, insecure geek and turn her into a multi-million-dollar sales professional. And now I take my clients, mainly entrepreneurs, small business, especially in the services, intangibles, take them from where they've plateaued and help them figure out where the direction is going forward. So I combine serial entrepreneurship with an MBA in marketing and decades of sales and marketing experience internationally. So I just help them have more fun, make more money. It's actually on my business card. It says so. It says so. Have fun, make money.
Yeah, well, good. Well, people generally don't have a problem with that, so that's a that's a good offer for sure. All right, so let's talk about the current environment when it comes to sales. I see a lot of folks kind of stepping into online entrepreneurialism. I think that there are a lot of gurus out there that sadly promote, even though they say they don't promote fast and easy riches. You're just one sales system away. I'll change that just a little bit here just to protect the maybe not so innocent. But Patti, talk about, kind of where your philosophies align when it comes to sales.
Yeah, I never realized that there's two kinds of coaches, and I credit David Newman for I make you a maxi you. I make you the best business that you can be using all my sales and marketing. Because the other ones, those more scammy, the ones that say follow my system and I'll make you a millionaire yesterday. Those things don't work, and they are the mini me's. Because an entrepreneur is an individual, unless you're in a franchise business or God forbid, the multi-level marketing, network marketing crap, when you don't have your own IP, but you're an individual, you're strong-minded, you're stubborn, you have your own intellectual property. So there's no way that my formula is going to work for you because you are so different in different markets, different targets. So I had this really sexy tagline of plod your way to profits. That overnight success, even Gary Vee took 15 years to burst into our conscious 10 years ago. I saw him the first time 11 years ago, 2010. And he was just this, he was a no-name. He just published his first book. And it took him, if you look at his first video, the production values, I'm sure your 5-year-old has better production values today,
Oh, we trust us. I think everybody's first year or so, the production values are pretty lousy. And then, just iteratively, keep on working on stuff, right?
That's right. I mean, the pandemic hit, everybody went from face-to-face in real life, person-to-person meetings. All of a sudden it's virtual, right? So people stepped onto, I don't call it social selling. I don't call it even social media marketing. It's social prospecting. All you've done, like on LinkedIn, when you do a connection, is like you're just starting. It's like dating. You're just starting out to see if there's any chemistry. Is there any need? I don't actually, it's funny, from a sales coach, I say, stop selling. Stop pitching, start engaging. That is the most important thing. It's all about the relationship, and that's when you got to. So when I was,
thank you for saying that, by the way. And to people who were not paying attention just then, rewind back 30 seconds and listen to Patti say that about 10 times, and then write it down, put it up on your wall. Right, Patti, repeat that one more time for those who can't find the rewind button.
So start engaging with people. And so when you automate your social media and you throw links out there and you get, crickets, do that, but then also engage on other influencers' posts. What I do when I see Gary Vee has just posted 5 minutes ago, I will hop in and give a value-added comment. And that's where I make connections. That's where I make business or get customers, because They know they can't afford Gary, but they could possibly afford me. And we start a conversation, right? So engaging with other influencers that your potential target audience listens to, that's where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. And it's just, again, you know, you don't go for the home run. You go for, you know, get the hit, get to first base. Okay.
That's it. Absolutely. That's absolutely how, you know, and the same thing, you know, with my background in media consulting, you know, where everybody just wants to go from 0 to 100 in becoming a media celebrity. I'm like, you know, you can't, if you try to cheapen and bastardize the process, you're going to be sorely disappointed because the system's just not going to allow you. People are not going to allow you to do that. And you have to honor that and you have to earn your stripes. So similarly in whether it's, you know, growing your individual authority, your individual brand, and in individual relationships, stop getting transactional so darn quickly. It is just going to take time. And you get to respect that because we all know, I mean, if we're really introspective about how we buy, it's the exact same thing. Patti, how do you buy?
I ask my friends. I go on Facebook and put a question up in my I have a very active community group, and I go, hey, who's the best dentist, doctor, you know, optician? You know, you ask for, you know, again, 80% of jobs are never advertised, and it's just like, you know, your advertising is pretty much wasted if I don't know somebody that goes there. Like on this one main street, there's like 5 dentists. Mm-hmm. You know, when it took me 4 dentists to find one that I really, you know, connected with. Because I was new to my neighborhood. I'd moved back after what I call a 30-year detour. So I knew nothing. I had to start from scratch. And so you ask friends, you ask neighbors, you ask people. Yeah, that's why, you know, reviews are so important. That's why recommendations on LinkedIn are, make sure that your last recommendation isn't 10 years old, you know, because that's like, what have you done in 10 years that nobody's recommended you? You know, like it's a red flag. It's one of those flags.
Yeah, certainly. Patti, there are other sales coaches and gurus and authors and experts out there, and there's probably bad advice that you hear. And what's some of that bad advice that you would caution other people that it sounds good, or you might think it sounds good, but here's the problem. I'm going to editorialize for just a second, and then I'll tee up here. I was at a training and here's what I see. I see this pattern. And again, my background is, you know, studying consumer behavior and studying marketing gimmicks and tactics. And there's a very familiar pattern that I see. And I see this among sales trainers, particularly, not all of them. It's a small selection of them, but they're generally the ones who have really big events, you know, really big, splashy about their name. I've actually seen, I went to an event and he had everybody say, all right, everybody pull out your phone. And so I'm going to put a script on the screen right now. And I want you to call someone on your prospect list right now. And all you have to do is read this script to them. The script was terrible. It was absolute. And I, like, if someone said that to me, I would be so like weirded out. Like it was so fake. It was so artificial.
Yeah.
Here's why I believe that he did that. No, I outed him. It's a guy who did this.
Yeah. I think I know GC.
Yeah, I think you probably do know. Yeah.
I can tell.
So there's a phenomenon among gurus that they intentionally want you to fail. And this is actually, I see this common in some groups too. I'm not going to get very specific, but they want you to go out in the world, get your nose punched in and fail and fail and fail. And then what happens is you come back to the group where you get love bombed and you say, oh, that's okay. All you need is one more course. All you need is this program. You know, all you need is our community and just, you know, pay more money into this group. Now that sounds so cynical until you study cult behavior. And then it was really kind of studying how cults work. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've seen that before. You
the
know,
cold rooms,
yeah. So
right?
anyway, Patty, I'll let you take mic now.
The cold, I mean, I've been through some of the cold rooms, right? They keep the temperature low, limited breaks, the long days, 12-hour days, and it's only $29 for this amazing weekend packed full of stuff. First of all, I'll say scripts do not work, because would you like to talk to a robot? I don't know about you, but I just got the call last night. Yeah, my ducks, I don't have ducks, so please take me off your list. Scripts don't work. I will be a little contrary and say you need 5 elevator pitches. Not one way to introduce yourself, 5. Because one is, if you've ever been to a networking event where, hi, I'm Patti Pokorchak, small business sales coach. I help you be clear and confident in your value so that you can sell more. Patti Pokorchak, that's the BNI way, right? It's just like, I sound like a robot, which I just did. But if I say, hey, Josh, are you plateaued? Would you like to make more money? Would you like what I call my brag sheet of what my clients have accomplished with my help? Like doubled their sales, quadrupled their sales? Would you like to get out of your slump? Would you just like to work with more people that you enjoy working with, you know? And then, you know, taking your time to, the big thing is, the big divider is, you go to the bottom of their website, is there a disclaimer page? That always to me is a red flag. I know, you know, you're in the US, you're more litigious, you sue people more often.
Right.
But you know, why is there a disclaimer? Why are you advertising extreme 0.1% results? Why are you, these are typical results, you know, for me. Like these are normal people. I get them out of a sales slump. I help them learn. My brand promise is to take you from sales fear to sales fun to sales success. Like that's, and I do it as fast as I can. I have no contracts, because if you don't want to work with me, then I don't want to work with you. I've been in business my whole life, and that's not the way, you know, where you hook somebody into a very expensive $25,000 contract and no outs. That should be illegal. It really should.
Whether you are trying to convince somebody of a political position, a religious point of view, an opinion on something, or a sales process, folks can absolutely smell your agenda. Like it's going to become so apparent very, very quickly. If your agenda is to close a sale, right, and make some money and get a commission or something like that, guess what? You can't hide it. You can't hide it.
They smell it. Even remotely, they can smell it. So my definition of sales is, first of all, S is for service. You are there to help others. So you're more of think of yourself as a matchmaker of like, hey, Josh, tell me where the pain hurts. Let me poke. Let me poke again. Let me poke again. So being of service, like you got a pain, and when I let you figure out you got 3 to 5 pain points, go, okay, so which one's your biggest pain? Which one do you want to get rid of first? And then I focus on that. That's where I'll bring out my elephant, okay? Big ears for active listening and a small mouth to say as little. Selling is listening, asking questions, really listening, and then going further. And that's why scripts don't work. You can only script your first couple of qualifying questions, and then you got to follow the flow, just like you do as an interviewer. Like, where is she going with this? Okay, let's bring that back. So sales is service, adventure, because it's a fun profession. It's leadership, because you guide people using questions to what pays your mortgage, but that's not the number one priority. First one, be of service to others. E is for entrepreneurial, because even in a paid employee role, you're entrepreneurial. You're representing that company. And finally, S is for success. So that's what sales is. It's service first and foremost. And that's why the no contracts are so important, is that if I lock you in and you're not getting value from me, well, then I'm not, it's not quite fraud. Yes, you signed a contract. Yes, you're an adult, but it's not ethical. You won't get any repeat business through that. You burn your bridges. And that's why some of the coaches here have to go to other countries, because nobody will deal with them.
Yeah. So it sounds like, again, Patti, what you're saying is, again, have a heart of service. And if you're not there, or another thing is, if you don't truly believe in your product, that's another thing you can't fake.
Oh, yeah. I actually say, I sometimes occasionally when I do talks or training, I actually had pom-poms. I say, if you're not your own best cheerleader, then who is? And if you're not enthusiastic, then why should anybody else care? And that, because enthusiastic and the fun aspect, that's very contagious, right? And if you not only just have to know your product, you have to know where your customer's coming from. I deal a lot with tech companies, and my background's being a techie, for a female tech pioneer, actually, and I can interpret geek speak and customer speak and go, hey, so you're saying this, and people got glazed over eyes because you're talking in acronyms and nobody understands you. It's just like, let's talk in people talk, human talk, So I make them, my secret power is, and when I realized, is like what made me successful as a shy, insecure geek, is that I was curious, insanely curious about people. I was asking questions, and being introverted, I didn't like to speak. So I only said as little as I had to. It's like, hey, Josh, you got this problem. I got the solution. Do you want some? I was really smooth there, right? It's just like, and that's as simple, it doesn't take much to be successful in sales, but it's the caring and the curiosity. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed. So, Patti, how do you specifically work with people? Who do you serve? Like, how do you work with them? Do you do one-on-one coaching? Do you provide group training, video-based, books? How do you help folks?
I do some one-on-one limited. I'm looking for small companies that I can work with, basically software companies, because selling the intangible is the hardest thing to sell. So I'm looking for a couple more retainer clients to take, what's maybe a 2-3 person sales team. So that's where I work one-on-one. And then for group training, I use Leader Jam as a new platform for coaches. And we're putting on some master classes. Like I'm doing one September 23rd. I'm not sure when the show airs. There's another one November 3rd. And it's how to get more business now. So I take all my decades of experience and throw it into a crash course. And I've been told that they learn more from me in an hour than they do in a whole day at other places. Because I'm not there to make people fail. I'm there to lift them up and give them the skills and tools. Because there is, sales starts with a mindset, a skill set, a process, and a discipline. So if you're a certain age and you say, I'm never going to learn to sell, well, I'm going to say, get a job, because you're going to struggle. Okay. That's the first step. But there's skills. I don't teach tricks, but if you don't know, you need to ask for the order and go, hey, Josh, do you want to work with me? And then shut up. Then you don't do it. But once you know it, it's just like, you have to ask for the order. People don't throw money at you. I mean, occasionally it'll happen when they say, hey, how can we work together? So I work with Leader Jam, where I have a sales hackathon coming up in October. It's a 2-day learning event. And the dates are to be, right now they're in conflict with another sales conference, so we're working on the dates, but early October. And I work with a bunch of women, other sales experts on the Sales Expert channel, for example, and and I have my own YouTube show called Make More Money Now, because that's what entrepreneurs want to do, right? Yeah. But in an ethical, sustainable way. That's it. When you're ethical, you create a sustainable business, because that's the only way you'll get referred, is when people are happy with you, when they feel honored, when they feel they got more value for their money. When I helped an entrepreneur make 20 grand on one contract, went from 30 to 50,000, it's like, I didn't charge her enough for that, right? I mean, right. My fees are quite reasonable, but when you have that kind of an impact on people, it's like, wow, it makes me light up. So. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Patti. So your website, again, is smallbizsalescoach.ca. When somebody goes there and they want to take that next step in connecting with you, what would you recommend they do?
Email me. I do free consulting calls, and I sometimes, unfortunately for me, I solve their problem in the first call, the free call. So I'm the only Patti Pokorchak in the world, so just Google my name. There's lots of content out there, and I willingly share everything I know, and I'm happy to respond by email or phone. I do answer my phone, if I'm not on a podcast or on a call. So yeah. Just.
Fantastic. All right, Patti Pokorchak. Again, your website, smallbizsalescoach.ca. Patti, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you, Josh. It's been fun. Thank you.